nothing you have done.
When we show up as a representative or different people or trying to please everyone, we are out of alignment. We're out of integrity. We're out of congruency with the true nature of who we are.
No one's picked up my book proposal yet.
Yes.
I haven't found my soulmate yet. Everything is yet.
The power of yet.
Power of yet.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Okay, it all started with a smile. Not the fake kind. No, this one was smoother, polished. You could tell it had been practiced in the mirror more times than we'll ever know. Meghan Markle, the woman who built her entire image on being raw, real, and oh so resilient. She was supposed to be the one who escaped the royal circus, fought through mental health battles, and became this shining beacon of honesty and empowerment. But what if none of that was real? What if the most relatable woman in media wasn't just branding herself, but straight up scripting every second of it? Because get this, one of her biggest cheerleaders, billionaire beauty mogul Jamie Kern-Lima, just flipped the whole narrative. And Meghan, she's fuming behind closed doors. According to Jamie, that emotional heart-to-heart on Meghan's podcast, total act, every pause, every look, every deep moment, staged, controlled, manipulated. And yeah, Jamie has receipts. In this video, we're peeling back the layers of what Jamie just revealed, how Meghan's carefully polished empire is spiraling, and why this could be the final nail in a brand already hanging by a thread. Stick with us because what you're about to hear might change how you see Meghan Markle forever.
To imagine, at the beginning, everyone has like butterflies, and then we immediately went into the trenches together.
Yeah.
Right out of the gate, like 6 months into dating. So now 7 years later, when you have a little bit of breathing space.
Yes.
Oh my God.
On the surface, everything looked flawless. Two powerhouse women, both self-made, both praised for their grit and survival. Meghan and Jamie, royalty meets mogul. This was supposed to be a beautiful celebration of strength and healing. But the second Jamie Kern-Lima walked into that studio, she felt it. Something was off. This wasn't just a podcast setup. Oh no. This was a literal film set. Producers were swarming. The lighting, so precise it looked like it belonged on a Vogue cover. And cameras, already rolling before anyone even said hello. Then came the script. Jamie wasn't just handed some talking points. She was given emotional beats, where to pause, when to smile, how to sync her tone with Meghan's for max impact. There were even notes on which vulnerable angles to use and when to soften her voice. Jamie's no stranger to media, but this wasn't media. It was theater. She played along at first. Maybe she was nervous, maybe she didn't want to cause a scene, but when the mics turned off, everything changed. The sweet, soft-spoken Meghan, gone. What stood before Jamie was someone else entirely, cold, calculated, strategic, and what Jamie saw next, it rattled her, deeply. She said nothing for weeks, not to her team, not her closest friends. She bottled it all up, that weird, twisting feeling in her gut. Something was very wrong, but this was Meghan Markle, Duchess, the queen of vulnerability. Calling her out felt dangerous, career suicide even. So Jamie tried to move on, told herself maybe this is just how things are done at that level. Maybe vulnerability needed to be scripted. Maybe people didn't want real pain. They wanted a polished version they could cry to on the treadmill. But then the episode aired, and Jamie's inbox exploded. Hundreds of women writing in, pouring their hearts out, saying how Meghan's rawness moved them, saved them, inspired them. And that's when Jamie broke. Not out of anger, out of guilt. Because it wasn't real. None of it. The tears, time, the story arcs, scripted. Jamie wasn't a guest. She was a prop in a perfectly staged emotional scene. And she never signed up for that.
Also is pretending like she's crying. We zoomed in just to see. There isn't a tear in Dan. Look at this. I invite the viewers to take a close-up look at this. Where's the...
So she sat down, hit record, faced her own mic, and finally spoke the truth. No one, least of all Meghan, was ready. The second Jamie's episode dropped, Meghan's whole camp went into panic mode. Phones lit up before sunrise. Assistants dragged from their beds. Emails started flying with the subject line, urgent. The headline spreading like wildfire in Meghan's private PR group chats. Jamie Kern-Lima calls Meghan Markle fake, and she's got the receipts. Inside Meghan's Montecito mansion, absolute chaos. Sources say she was pacing, yelling, demanding answers. Why didn't we see this coming? One staffer allegedly asked. Meghan, she wanted that episode wiped from existence. She called it a misrepresentation, a breach of trust. She even threatened legal action. But here's the catch. Jamie didn't break any contracts. Heck, she didn't even say Meghan's name at first. But everyone knew exactly who she was talking about. Meghan's lawyers started combing through the paperwork. Crisis managers began drafting damage control statements. Publicists were swatting down panicked calls from brand partners. They even considered going after Jamie. Maybe claim she misunderstood the taping. Maybe call her bitter or fame-hungry. But that's where things got tricky. Jamie, she's untouchable. She's respected, successful, scandal-free. No hidden agenda. And worst of all, she was calm. Dead calm. That's when the real panic set in. Meghan had handled drama before. She survived the tabloids, Piers Morgan, the royal whisper machine. But she always had support, big support. And none was bigger than Oprah, the queenmaker, the woman who gave Meghan and Harry their post-palace platform. That bombshell interview. The world listened when Oprah handed Meghan the mic. So when Jamie's podcast started going viral, Meghan's team waited for backup, a tweet, a shout-out, a quote from Gayle King. But instead, crickets, nothing. Oprah didn't say a word.
Meghan, you have been working so hard. Oh my God. You're probably the hardest worker in the world. I don't know anybody that's worked as hard as you. I don't know, I'm just doing my best.
And that silence? Oh, it was loud. Behind the scenes, people started whispering. Did Oprah know Jamie was going to spill? Was she backing away on purpose? One insider claims Meghan's team reached out to Harpo Productions and got a response colder than ice. Another source says Meghan didn't get invited to a recent private Montecito dinner with Oprah's inner circle. No invite, no explanation. In Hollywood, silence is more powerful than scandal. And everyone was watching now. Not just the media, the industry. People who once waited in line to work with Meghan were suddenly backing off, holding their breath, reading the room. And when Oprah won't even text you back, that's a sign. Hollywood doesn't wait. It shifts. Jamie's podcast was spreading like wildfire across TikTok, Reddit, YouTube, you name it. And Meghan? Her name wasn't just trending, it was vanishing. Not from gossip blogs, but from boardrooms. PR firms stopped pitching her. Brand deals hit pause. One rep at a major fashion house reportedly said, "We just can't take the risk." Not right now. That word, risk. Meghan had always been high risk, high reward. Controversial, sure, but magnetic. She could move markets, inspire masses, set trends. But now the word wasn't power, it was problem, and it only got worse. Her big Spotify deal, already canned after just one season of Archetypes. Netflix, growing cold. Once excited executives started pressing pause. Meetings rescheduled, emails ignored. Meghan's brand, the one built on truth and transparency, was suddenly radioactive, and insiders were talking. One producer who worked with her before said Meghan obsessed over every detail, demanding final cut, editing down even the smallest moments. This wasn't about looking good, they said. This was about controlling the narrative. That authentic Duchess image, it was cracking, and nobody wanted to be the last one holding the bag when it shattered.
Worse, because the Harry and Meghan show at least had newsworthy lines, at least had some purpose to it. Whereas this feels exactly what it is. It's something which was done clearly as a contractual obligation. Does anyone really care? And I think the answer...
This wasn't just some PR mess anymore. It got personal. People who had defended Meghan, like ride or die fans who stuck by her through thick and thin, they were heartbroken. And the shift online, immediate. Longtime supporters started posting threads that read more like breakup letters than celebrity commentary. One tweet went mega viral. "I defended Meghan for years. I believed her. I cried with her. Now I feel played." That's not hate. That's betrayal, and it cuts deeper. Reddit blew up. People were rewatching Meghan's Oprah interview, suddenly seeing it all with new eyes. The perfectly timed pauses, the soft tears at just the right moment. What once felt authentic now felt orchestrated. Even influencers who proudly wore Team Meghan merch started deleting posts. Podcasts that used to praise her switched to cautious commentary. The energy had changed. No one was attacking Meghan now. They were reevaluating her, dissecting her every move. Then came the edits. Fan-made supercuts started surfacing online, showing Meghan's tearful moments side by side with Jamie's claims about scripting and direction. Those scenes that used to feel raw now looked rehearsed, and people didn't need a press conference. They didn't need Meghan's side. The truth was already whispering through every pause, every cue, every frame. And then Jamie made her next move. And this time, she didn't rant, she didn't drop cryptic Instagram captions. Nope, she just posted one teaser clip. Sitting behind her mic, calm as ever, she said one line. Just one. "This isn't about tearing someone down, it's about truth, and I still have the tapes." Boom. Internet, broken. Reddit threads exploded. TikTok creators analyzed every word like it was the Zapruder film. Headlines popped up everywhere. Jamie Kern Lima says Meghan Markle scripted emotions, raw audio coming soon. And here's the gag. Jamie didn't need this. She wasn't a clout chaser. She had everything to lose. Her whole brand is built on being honest, transparent, real. Her company, IT Cosmetics, sold for $1.2 billion. Women trust her. So when she says she has behind-the-scenes recordings, unedited, unfiltered, from Meghan's podcast taping, people believe her. And inside Meghan's team? The panic turned into dread. Because if Jamie's tapes really do expose the fake tears, the rehearsed sighs, the scripted drama, this wasn't just bad optics. It was full-on betrayal of everything Meghan had sold the public. And suddenly, it wasn't just a scandal, it was a collapse.
What people do with pineapple, instead of just cutting it to make the perfect little bite, you follow the wedge. When nature has given you all the cues on how to have a perfect taste of something.
Oh, how fun is that? I love it.
I like working hard.
This woman is being paid millions of dollars to show how to cut into a pineapple.
Behind the scenes, Meghan's team was scrambling like never before. Lawyers on standby, publicists burning the midnight oil, hush-hush calls going out to brand partners. But this time, it felt different because this wasn't just about one messy podcast. This was about the foundation under her entire empire starting to crumble. Every brand deal, every speech, every documentary, all sold on the idea that Meghan was real, honest, relatable. She wasn't a celeb, she was a symbol, a survivor, a truth teller. That image, that was her currency, and it was losing value by the second. Hollywood insiders started whispering about their post-Meghan strategies. Dior reportedly paused their negotiation talks. Netflix, quietly shelving projects that had once been green-lit. The brand partnerships weren't dead, but they were frozen. And Meghan? Silent. No tweets, no Instagram posts, no heartfelt captions about being misunderstood, because right now, every move came with a risk. If she said too much, she looked guilty, defensive. If she said too little, she looked guilty anyway. The only option left? A comeback, a tell-all, a redemption arc. But would anyone still buy it? Because rebuilding? It's possible. But it takes more than PR spin. It takes real transparency, vulnerability that isn't edited, truth that can't be cropped and filtered. And if those tapes Jamie teased actually drop, it won't matter how good the PR is. It won't matter how carefully Meghan tries to repackage the message. The narrative will no longer be in her hands. It will belong to the public. And the question will no longer be, did Meghan Markle lie? It will be, was she ever telling the truth at all? Because if even a fraction of Jamie's story holds water, if there were real scripts, real stage directions, real production-level manipulation behind Meghan's emotional storytelling, we're not just watching a stumble, we're witnessing the full unraveling of an identity Meghan spent years crafting, an identity that moved millions, that brands bet billions on, that Oprah herself vouched for, and now, with Jamie hinting at raw behind-the-scenes audio, Meghan's silence isn't just suspicious anymore. It's a spotlight. And in this industry, the longer you stay quiet, the louder the truth echoes without you. So now all eyes are on Meghan. Will she fight back, confess, fade into the background? Because no matter what she chooses, one thing's clear. The mask has slipped and the world is watching.